Good evening, people. It's GunSlingerz. We're here talking about Arsenal's best 11, if we've got a good 11. Season starts on the 11th of September. Might have started a few games before that for most of you, but we're starting on the 11th. We're going to get straight into it. Let's do this. I love the intro. I love it. How are you all keeping? So today, GunSlingerz. It's only three of us today. It's a bit of a quieter one. Gunner King's somewhere living life to the fullest as usual, winding up Chelsea fans as he does. Big shout out to Canners. Hope you're feeling better. Tony's all as well. Just spoke to him just now. But today we have on first guest James. How you keeping?
It was good, boss. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, can't complain. It's been nice to just have a bit of quiet time away from all the madness we've had to go through for the last 2-3 weeks. So, yeah, I've needed that bit of quiet time. Yourself, feeling optimistic for weekend?
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, very optimistic.
Yeah.
I like that. And also we have with us today the Nigerian Englishman. How you keeping?
Shake it, baby, don't break it. We know that all of my girl break it. Jamaican entrance, we come break the party.
Hey, shake it, baby, don't break it. Arsenal, don't break it, so don't break my heart this weekend. Shake it, but don't break it, yeah? I'm excited. Let's go. I'm excited. My season's about to start. I'm out of pre-season. I just finished my pre-season now. My season's starting. I told you guys. So, boy.
You was the first one to call it. You said 11th September, Arsenal season starts. And you wasn't lying, to be fair. So, bro, you think we're ready now?
Bro, we got to be, man. We got no excuse. No excuses left, man. The season starts. We gave every other team a 3-game head start. So, boy, made sure you did a lot with that. Spurs and all those others. But now, we are ready. Arteta's army.
Good. So yeah, I'm going to quickly rattle through a few comments quickly before we get started. So we got Armoury TV saying smash the likes and subscribe. Also comment. Don't forget to comment, guys, if you're out there. It all helps. Do you know what I mean? So make sure you're liking, subscribing, and commenting in the chat. And you know what we do here. We like to interact with people commenting. So any ideas, anything you want to say, add it in there. If there's a good take, we'll throw it up. SilvaFox, doing my brother, all good. Football things. He loves the new intro. Yeah, big up SilvaFox for the intro. And this is one for you, Nigerian.
Big up football things. My guy.
He's the goat at being late.
I take that. I take that on the chin today. I take it.
He's the greatest of all time keeping.
We have to do Niger time sometimes, you know.
I hear you. But it's all good.
Stereotype from time to time.
Bless you. But I'm just going to say, I'm going to put it out there for now. If I start scrambling, apologize in advance. I don't know what's wrong on my internet at the moment. I've had 2 bad streams, the last 2, but I've changed my room today. I've got nearer the router and hopefully it works a bit better. But we'll see how we get on. So, guys, today, talking Arsenal's best 11. We've all put a team in. We're going to go through them, see which is controversial. And then between the three of us, we're going to come up with which we think is the best as well. So we're going to go with that. All sound good?
Yeah, I'm in.
All right, man. Decent. So first of all, James, talk us through your 11, James.
Well, I mean...
What, James?
What do you mean, what? This is our best 11, Clay.
Go on.
Go on. What do you mean? Right. What's your contention? I want to know your contentious points about my starting 11.
There's a massive one in there, mate. Right
Go
in the middle of
first.
the park, bro. But
Go
you explain
first,
your team
Jason.
first.
Oh,
Let me
Granit
know.
Xhaka. All right. Yeah, I think this is our best 11. Contentious around Granit Xhaka, I know. But I believe on paper, this gives us the best balance. So Ramsdale in goal, I think we might as well play him. He's shown that he was pretty good against West Brom. I know it was only a cup game, but he looked confident, he looked competent, and the distribution was a lot better than Leno's. I think the back four explains itself. Like right backs, we don't have a good selection, so it's buying Tomiyasu. I think he looks pretty good, so throw him in the deep end. I'd start him and play him throughout the season. White, Gagliardini, again, right to itself. They are our best centre-backs and left-back. Thomas Partey is our best midfielder, so there's no contention there. I know you're probably going to say Lokonga in for Xhaka, but I think minus aside the red cards, he gives us experience, so that's why he's in there. I've got Saka because it's just Saka. Odegaard for the creativity. I think my only issue with playing Smith Rowe, Odegaard, and Saka is there's a lack of goals, quite a lot of a lack of goals. So that's why I've gone for Pepe on the left, because he is, I think, our second option in terms of goal scoring. And then Alba up top. If he can find form, we'll bag you goals.
Not bad. Not bad. Couldn't I'm gonna let you go first. What's your issues with that team?
Boy, like my big major issue is Granit. Like, what the heck is he doing anywhere near the team? I don't even want him to be on a subs bench, mate. I'm saying Jack Wilkshire's better than Granit Xhaka right now. That's where I'm at. Even though I still don't want Jack back, don't get me wrong. But Granit Xhaka needs to be as far away from our team as possible. He's an influential person in the side, and we need to dead that. We need to dead that as quick as possible because his leadership is not what we need right now. Someone that loses their head when the team's 2-0 down already at the Etihad. We don't need that. Someone that throws the armband. We do not need that in our club. Throws the shirt. Anyway, don't get me started about this guy, please.
Cool. I won't ask you for a replacement just yet because we'll check your team in a minute. You might have already made a replacement.
I'm surprised at something, though. As is James. I'm surprised that ESR's not starting instead of Odegaard.
Yeah. I don't know. I think for me, Odegaard may be contentious. I don't know. I think Odegaard is the better player. I'm not saying Smith Rowe can't become the better player, but I think for that formation of the players I've picked, Emma Smith Rowe can easily slot in for Pepe. I just think he doesn't score enough currently. That's why he's not in my team. And I think Odegaard offers more creativity as well. So, yeah, that's why Emma Smith Rowe isn't in there, simply because as of right now, he doesn't have enough goals to his game. But if he develops this in the season, then he'd replace Pepe for me.
Decent. I'll be honest, I quite like the look of your team, to be fair. Not too bad. Not too shoddy. We're going to move on to Nigerians. Are you ready for this?
There's only one difference, I think. Two.
Go for it. Go for your team.
So I've gone with the same back four because I believe that's our strongest back four. I'm excited to see what a run of games of Gabriel and White looks like. I sincerely hope Gabriel has learnt better English because it seemed last season he only worked really well with Luis because they both speak Portuguese. So I hope he's brushed up on his English over the summer. Sambi's got to go in there because for me, it was either Sambi or Maitland-Niles, mate. That's where I'm at. That's really where I'm at with Granit Xhaka. I think we need to rinse out that type of leadership as quickly as possible. So Sambi goes and he's looked neat and he's already shown that he's a bit of a leader. He's probably been asked to do more than he's needed to do, than he thought he'd need to do as early on. But I think he's taken it with the scruff of his neck and just gone with it. So I want to see what that partnership with Partey and Sambi looks like. So, and also it gives me like a glimpse of what it could look like in January when we sign Bissouma. And yeah, even though I was talking about why did he pick ESR instead of Odegaard? I picked him as well. The reasons I picked Odegaard is because I do think ESR had a better last season than Odegaard. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I believe Odegaard is the better player. And for a striker like Aubameyang to re-find his form, I think someone that passes the ball in between the lines, looking for that killer pass, Odegaard's got that more in his game than Smith Rowe currently has in his game. He's good at driving the ball, but Odegaard can do both currently. So I'd throw him in there, and I'll rotate with him and Smith Rowe as well. Just so, I've talked about Smith Rowe. Even though he's got the number 10, it's not time for him to be our number 10 just yet. He still needs to add some other bits to his game. And then I've gone with Martinelli. Like, I'm sure that's probably shocked you all. The reason why I've gone with Martinelli, hear me out. Yeah, even though he didn't look that good in the Brentford game. I don't believe he's ready physically to play up top just yet in the Premier League. I think he needs another season and a half, probably another season as a half on the left. But I believe Martinelli getting me 6 games in a row on the left versus Pepe getting me 6 games in a row. I believe I'm going to get more out of a run of games for Martinelli than a run of games for Pepe, because Pepe's had a run of games and he's shown glimpses at the end of last season. But I believe in his dibby-dabby games that he's been given, Martinelli shines, bro. Imagine what it would look like with a run of 5-6 games, man. I think he'll be a monster. And Abba seems to like playing with him as well, as you saw against Newcastle last season. So, yeah. The rest kind of picks itself, to be honest.
All right. I'm going to bring the screen off. You're going to see a new guest, Mr. Gunner.
Gunner King. Hey.
He removed Pepe and he just turned out like Candy, man. So,
he saw.
The Gunner King, you come here quickly. I'm going to let you go first. I'll get Nigeria's team up again. What do you reckon of this team? And don't talk about your team yet. Just look at this team. One name sticks out to me is Martinelli. You kind of explained Nigerian about why you picked him. Gunner, what do you reckon of Martinelli being a regular starter in this team? I think you're on mute, bruv.
He's still in holiday mode, mate. Yeah.
You're not on mute, but there's no sound coming from your phone.
So James, have a go before Gunner then.
Yeah, James, you go. Chris, trust.
I mean, I don't know. I like Calais' team. I mean, I can argue my case for Xhaka. I know you hate Xhaka, which is why you don't want him in, which is calm. And Martinelli is like the same with Emile Smith Rowe. Any one of those three, Pepe, Emile Smith Rowe, Martinelli, I think is going to do a job on the left side. If we can get the form of Martinelli that we saw early on in his first season, where he was bagging goals, right? Then he will offer a lot more consistently. I think, as you said, you mentioned that stint of Pepe at the end of the last season. I think it's kind of skewed. It was kind of like a half chances that fell for him instead of him doing consistently over a season.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I can see what you mean.
Yeah, like the verdict's up for me, man. Like he needs a big season. He needs to give me I need to see what a 9 out of 10 Pepe looks like. Like, what does that look like? Have we seen it yet? And can someone tell me why he doesn't like score free kicks now? It comes in, bangs in 2 one day, and then we've never seen him get close since then. Anyway, let me get started about Pepe, man. Martinelli.
Right, let's try Gunner.
All right, Gunner, can you guys hear me first of all?
Yeah,
can you hear me now? Yeah. I can see why the Nigerian Englishman has gone with Martinelli. Yeah, I mean, you know, the kid's electric. He's been able to provide from the left-hand side and get involved in the goals as well. I think the Crystal Palace game where he darted into the box, got on the end of an Odegaard cross springs to mind. Against Newcastle, getting down the wing and then turning provider for Aubameyang. Sheffield United, you know, I think he was a handful on the left-hand side as well. I still think Pepe and Iasado, man. Like, I really struggle seeing them out of the team, and I was struggling with mine. I'm not going to talk about mine too much about who to drop out of there. But look, these are the problems I wanted Arsenal Football Club to have. These selection headaches. I expect them to get rotated around anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like dependent on opposition. You know, I think maybe against weakened opposition, you know, could Martinelli have the same output, you know, in big games that Pepe does? Because Pepe has scored in some big games, you know, and
Which ones? Tell me. Which ones?
ESR scored in big games as well. So,
which
you know,
Pepe big games are these? Which goals has he scored in big games, bro? Don't give him props he doesn't deserve. Pepe
United.
scored against United. That. Did he score against United?
Yeah, he did.
The first season, right, with Emery.
No, under Arteta as
No,
well.
under Arteta.
Yeah. When we beat them 2-0, and he got an assist in that game as well for David. Was it David? No, who was it that scored the header? I think it was David Luiz.
Socrates.
Oh, that was it. Yeah. Yeah. Look, I think the midfield is spot on. Xhaka's time is done at this football club. Like, just, I'd rather put Lokonga in there, and just have him getting forged by the fuels of fire. He's going to come out on the other side a lot better, especially playing next to Partey. So yeah, I like the team, man. I like it.
Cool, right, Gunnar. Because you're talking, we're going to move on to your team straight into it. All right, and then we'll have our say on this.
Nervous about this one.
Talk, because just go through the 11, and then these are finally some points.
Yeah. Well, the struggle really is with Saka and Pepe, who again,
Pepe's not in your team. Wow.
Yeah.
I said to Tony, put them both there and as rotational, but I think at the moment Saka has to play. I think, you know, since the last time we had this conversation where it got a bit heated with me and Nigerian, what I was saying was that, you know, obviously he's been playing a lot of games. I think he needs to be rested, but he's had his rest now over the summer. He's done well, international level again. His impact on this team is growing. His confidence is growing. Pepe, the inconsistency is there, but I think he offers more of a goal threat. I think Saka offers a bit more creatively speaking. And there's just more end product when he picks up the ball and drives at people. Odegaard, without question, for me, is our number 10 now. If you're asking me, like, it's not even. I know a lot of people put sentiment into it and say that ESR is better than Odegaard, but they're just not watching the game properly. Like, Odegaard is one of the biggest chance creators. Go on FB Ref, man. Look at the stats; they don't lie. Look at his percentiles. He's in the top, like in the 90s for like mid, long, short range passing. You know, expected chance creation, big chance creation, all of this stuff, right? He is just not a joke. So that for me is on number 10, no questions asked. Martinelli and Smith Rowe I struggled with on the left. But at the moment, I just think Smith Rowe's shown a bit more consistency. His development curve has been a bit sharper. And I just, for me, like, not just out of favoritism, because he is my favorite youngster, I just think we've seen a lot more from Smith Rowe, and Martinelli came into the team before Smith Rowe, and I think Smith Rowe's already performed at a level above Martinelli.
For sure, however, but don't you think Arteta has a lot to do with that, though? But yeah, I do agree. He has definitely performed at a higher level.
I think injuries. I think injuries more than anyone else.
I think we overprotected him last season.
I've said this. Yeah, like, I don't buy into the narrative that he has a Martinelli agenda. Like, Martinelli is 19 years old and he tore his cruciate ligament. This can be career death for a footballer. You know, like, you do that, or your Achilles tendon. And he broke down twice from injury recovery last season. So I think what Arteta did was he said, look, Arsenal have got very little, if anything, to play for the rest of this season. What is the point risking him? What are we risking him for? Do you know what I mean? What is the benefit? Leave him, let him recover, you know, like, let him come back into this season stronger. And he will play more games this season. Let's not get it twisted.
Ghana, if you're telling me Arteta made a smart decision, then I'm struggling to agree. But if you think that's what he did,
let's be
then
clear,
no problem. I'll give it
right?
to you.
Nigerian, right? Let's be clear, right? Arteta could do better in a lot of things. But let's not be levying things at Arteta's doorstep that don't belong there. Yeah, like he literally, during his playing career, played with Jack Wilshere and watch him turn into being called Jack Wilshere for a reason. Yeah, so he's seen that firsthand. Wilshere was the most talented midfielder.
Hey, what's that got to do with Martinelli?
We've seen. No, I'm getting to that. Yeah, so he's played with him. He saw how the injury has affected his career. Yeah, so he's seen firsthand what not listening to it, like a player not listening to his body, for one, because Wilshere didn't listen to his body. And Martinelli does the same stuff. He doesn't listen to his body. He says he's fit again when he's not quite. Yeah, he saw what that did, and he saw what the medical staff and the optimism of the managerial staff did in trying to bring him back. This is why he just got released from Bournemouth, age 29. Yeah, and he's not looking to see that happen to Martinelli. Yeah, so look. Arteta, I've lost belief in him. I've lost belief in him. Let's not get it twisted, but let's not make this like an agenda-based narrative, because it is literally, like, in my opinion, like, you've got to manage young players that show a propensity to injury very carefully, and Martinelli is one of those players.
You put it so eloquently, so I'm believing you. I'm with it. I'm with it.
He's going to play more this season. I'll bank on it. And what he's going to do is he's going to play in a mixture on the left and up front. I guarantee you he'll play double the amount of games he played last season. He'll start more games. And I think it's a very similar development curve that he's going to take to Greenwood, where he's playing him out on the wing to eventually make him a number 9 player.
Fair. I think, but do you agree with me that he's still a season away from being a number 9?
Pardon?
He's still a season away from being a number 9. Martin.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Maybe more. You know, like, I think he's got, like, his body's got to, like, mature physically as well. You know, to be a number 9 and play up front on your own. You know, there's a lot of intelligence, movement involved as well, and like the link up play, and that's why a lot of these players like Greenwood play on the wing to learn how to. Because when you're a wing forward, you have to link the play more. You know, you have to look up more. You have to see when to pass, when to dribble, when to shoot. It improves your decision making. It improves your ability in all of these things, and that is a very important part of his learning process. You know, like, so I think it might be 2 seasons, but what he will do to give those guys game time is he will alternate between Smith Rowe and Martinelli being on the left. Sometimes Smith Rowe will be the number 10 and Martinelli will be on the left, you know, and they'll just between them, they will get 30, 40 games a season out of doing that.
For sure. I'm excited for him to be unleashed.
Just quickly, King.
Sure.
Yeah.
King, just quickly, 30 seconds, your striker.
He's put himself up front, innit, Gumsa? He said, fuck this, mate. Forget all this, mate. I'm going to put my blood clot self up front. You're done now.
No,
I don't blame you. Talk to me about your striker choice. You got me lacquer.
Look, I've not lost faith in Aubameyang at the moment. I just think as long as Arteta's the manager, unfortunately, and as long as he is rigid in the sort of system that he uses and what he wants from his strikers, it's not suited to Aubameyang's style of play.
So basically, as long as Laka still has this trim, you're gonna pick him, yeah? All right, sweet.
Yeah, man. I just think, like he brings other midfielders in a bit better. I think Aubameyang's just an out-and-out goal scorer, and at the moment his confidence is low. Lacazette, I just think, brings more to the team, and I think with these players in and around him, you know, he'll get the best out of them. I think he's a better leader as well. I'm just going to put that out there. He's a better leader. You know, Smith Rowe.
I think you are too,
bro. Smith Rowe came out.
James quickly. James, anything you want to say on Gunner King's team?
Nah, I mean, on paper it seems right. I think Lacazette as a squad plays better in the system. If we had to change the system or change the management, then I'd go for Alba up top, as King said. But yeah, I don't know. Again, my only question is Smith Rowe, and do we have enough goals in that front three I still argue that we don't. And I think Odegaard, you saw it at the end of last season and during bits of last season as well. He was giving a lot of opportunities to Pepe. He was finding his runs in behind the defense. So that's why I go for Pepe. But again, ESR, Martinelli, Pepe, any one of those three is a good option. So
I definitely agree. So I'm just going to run through a couple of comments quickly. Bizzo Bond.
Big up Bizzo Bond. Big up. Big rapper, man. Big up Bizzo. Got the bars.
As well.
Yeah, man. The only bad thing about him is he sports Liverpool, but big him up there. First time on the channel.
Yeah. Nice one. Cheers for tuning in. Barbados MUFC said, where's Canary? Canners is not here today, but he'll be back next week. Don't worry about that. Barbados MUFC again, stop defending Arteta. Don't know when you was, but
neither do I, mate.
But who knows?
Nigerian defending Arteta, that would be something.
Never that.
He said, is he late? He didn't see mine in. I'm presuming that's James has predicted starting 11. Mine's coming. Just because you haven't seen it, I'm going to throw James's up again quickly. So James has gone with, can't see his keeper, but it's Ramsdale, Tierney, Gabriel, White, Tomiyasu. So that back four's been the same in everyone's team, I think, so far.
Wait, has everyone gone with Ramsdale as well?
No, I think Gunnar King went with Leno.
Leno.
Xhaka, Partey, Pepe, Odegaard, Saka, Aubameyang. So that's James's team. One more thing he said. So Martinelli could potentially be the Brazilian Greenwood. We're going to take it off the screen.
You are crazy.
That comes straight off, but I do like Greenwood to be fair. He's a baller. So we go to my team next.
Baller, yeah, but people know what I meant, man. Do you know what I mean? Like the way they're being developed is very similar.
Yeah.
Play out wide to eventually be a number 9 player, which is what they're both going to be.
Definitely. Right, we're going to move on to my team. I've come after Gunnar because my team is very, very similar to yours, Gunnar. I think there's only one difference, and for some reason it hasn't come up. There we go. It's in the goalkeeping department. I've gone Ramsdale over Leno, only because we brought him, so I just want to see what he's like. I do think he's a bit better with his feet, and just to see how it goes, isn't it? If he has a run of games and he's not better, then for me, Leno comes back in. But that's the only change I made from Gunnar Kings. I think most of it, the back four picks itself at the moment. We haven't seen it play together, but we're all presuming we spent the money in them areas. They're not going to start. Gabriel's better than Mari, so he will start. And Tierney's the best left back in the league. Yeah, I said it. I'll say it with chest as well. Because my face isn't on the screen, I'm going to say it now. He's the best left back. But, so that's the back four. You know how I feel about the Granite. So Sambi's in next to Partey, who hopefully can stay fit for the rest of the season. Smith Rowe and Saka. I think this is the kind of the area, isn't it, where there's a lot of choices and it's actually competitive. I think that's the two areas where we're competitive this season. I've gone with Smith Rowe and Saka just because I think they are better at the transition than Martinelli and Pepe. I do think Pepe will score more goals, but if we don't get the ball there, it's very hard to score. Where I think them two offer a little bit more in that department. So that's why I've gone with those guys, because we are backs against the wall at the moment. We're not playing attractive football. So we need more industry. And I just don't think Pepe gives me enough industry for our 90 minutes. Up top, same as Gunnar King, I've got Laka Blood Clot because he integrates the team well. I think the other players play better with him. My analogy of it is over a 38-game season, if Aubameyang plays 38, he probably scores more goals than Lacazette, but the team won't score as much as Lacazette's if he's in the team. I think with Laka, he might score less individually, but I think the team will be a lot better off and will score more goals. So I think that's where I'm at with Lacazette. So if he starts, I'm not going to let you lot talk about my team too much because it's not perfect. So I don't think we even need to have another discussion about it.
You madman.
I mean, I certainly don't because it's identical bar Ramsdale.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like I've said, I think by the end of the season, Ramsdale will be our main keeper.
Guys, would you be upset if we sold Leno in January and signed Onana? I wouldn't.
No, I'd be up for that.
I wouldn't be upset. Yeah, one bit.
I say part of the whole philosophy, isn't it? It's got to be selling players for more and buying better alternatives for cheaper, and that to me makes perfect sense. If you can get 25 to 20 for Leno, and then get a keeper for 10 who's on par or better, Now you've got 10 mil profit. You can maybe spend that on Granit Xhaka's replacement because you're only going to get like 5 mil for him. So
Yeah.
Do you think there'll be a squad management issue with Ramsdale and Onana though? Because they're similar age, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think
the thing is though, I believe Ramsdale's just ecstatic to be at Arsenal, bro. So he's not going anywhere anytime soon. I think he's ready to wait it out, but he's going to give whoever's in charge a good run for their money. But I don't think he's one of those that if he's the number 2 for this whole season, he's going to be all talking about leaving next year. And we're protected by a big contract anyway, so definitely. I'm not too worried about that.
Sorry, just quick. I'm going to get to this comment here. He said, no shout for Tavares. Have you guys seen enough for Tomiyasu? The difference is we know what Tierney does, so Tavares can't automatically get that spot. Tomiyasu, between us, we probably haven't seen enough of him, but we've seen enough of Cedric, Bellerin, Chambers, and we don't want that no more. So that's where Tomiyasu walks into this.
Don't even read the next comment out, bro. Don't even read the next comment out.
No, I can't have any blasphemy on I can't have any blasphemy on the channel. So
no name calling, no profanities on this channel, mate. Barbados MC. Check your vocab before you come back on our show. You get me?
Rewrite it again and take that word out, and I'll post it up for you. But yeah, I said it. Tierney is the best left back. Don't business. Luke Shaw can't hold nothing to Tierney. Or so what do you call him? Luke Shaw Walker? No. He doesn't come close. So yeah, I said my team is pretty similar to Gunner King's. Gunner King touched on everything beautifully earlier, so I don't need to elaborate anymore. We're going to move on to the next team. So Canners is kindly done us a team, and it's a little bit of a change of formation with this one. So I'll read it out. Let me get rid of this comment quickly so you can see. Gone Ramsdale in goal as well. Don't know his reasons for it, but I presume it's the same thing me and James went for. We just spent 20 odd million on him. Like, it's meant to be Leno will be on the move sometimes. The youngster in and let him get on with it. Tierney, Gabriel White, and Tomiyasu. So again, the same back four as all the other teams. He's changed the formation. He's gone more 4-3-3. So Partey at the base with Sambi and Odegaard in front. Saka, Smith Rowe on the wings, and up top he's gone with Aubameyang. So let me get rid of this quickly. And 2 minutes, James. I want you to go first. Tell me what you like and dislike about that team.
Well, I like the back five because it's what I picked. I'm not sure about playing Sambi as like a 3-8. I haven't seen him enough in an Arsenal shirt to determine if he's good enough to be in that more advanced 3-8 creative role. Depends on how he's utilising the system. Front three, I guess it speaks for itself. Plus, it leaves a bit of space in behind for Aubameyang to run in. I don't know. It's an interesting take. I think the key there is how Sambi's going to play in the system.
I agree. As well, we saw him play central midfield against Man City. Hard test because obviously Man City dominate the ball. So it's quite hard to judge. But in here, he's put him in as an 8 as well. Do you think that could be something we might see this season? With Odegaard dropping a bit deeper?
I hope not, to be honest. Because if like, even not necessarily this Canners formation, if we do play the similar formation to we did against City, I don't need to see Odegaard in the middle of the park. I need it to be Partey and Lokonga, and that's it. And then Odegaard in an advanced role or whatever, because we looked so horrible in the middle of the park with that Granit geezer and Odegaard. Like, what? It was a recipe for disaster. It was never going to work. One thing I do like about our squad, though, is we got a bag of left footers, man. So it gives us different angles and different options. I like that.
Yeah. All right. Gunner King, what do you reckon of Canners' team as well? 30 seconds.
It's good. What I want to say quickly is this software could make it look. I can see what Canners has tried to do. Yeah. First of all, I think Lokonga is more of an 8 than a 6. He's not a 6. He's a box-to-box player. Anderlecht, he played as an 8, box-to-box guy. Now, what you can have is you can have 2 8s and they're not flat. Yeah. So Gumsa will, people that understand. Yeah. When you've got a flat back four or a flat midfield, they're in line with each other. In this system, I would expect Odegaard to be the more advanced of the 2 8s. Yeah, and Sambi would be a bit deeper, but would still be an 8, and their roles would be completely different. as 8s. Yeah, so you've got one more of an advanced 8. Odegaard naturally likes to drift into the right-hand channel a lot to operate. That can give Saka the ability to bomb into the box. Odegaard can overlap him and give him another option, and then he can move into the box and vice versa. Those guys can interchange quite freely on that side. Odegaard could also bomb into the number 10 position when you're transitioning the ball forward to get closer to Aubameyang from that more advanced 8 position. What I would expect Lokonga to do would be the conduit between that advanced 8 and that 6. Yeah, and then even between Lokonga and Partey, you could see interchange between those two, where Lokonga could be like, all right, I'm going to sit, because Partey's just bomb forward, because he can do that. He can pick up the ball and he can drive and he can beat a few men, and then he can thread a pass himself as well. So those two, there would be an interchange between those. And what you're basically saying is, as long as either Lokonga or Partey is operating as the 6, and the other one is operating as kind of your box-to-box midfield 8, just behind Odegaard, who is extremely advanced as an 8. You look at someone like Mason Mount at Chelsea. He's not a 10. He's an advanced 8. He will have Kovacic and Kante behind him. He is not quite in a 10 space. He's in a half space between being a 10 and being a deeper lying number 8. Do you see what I mean? And then Havertz will be the second striker. That can work with Odegaard. Odegaard's played in this kind of system. I wouldn't expect Odegaard to be coming back and tracking back and picking up the ball. I'd expect him to be kind of just operating, trying to find spaces in midfield between the opposition's midfield and their defense, where he can pick up the ball and then pick out passes or drive into the box as well. And I expect Smith Rowe to be able to play in that system as well. So I actually quite like the formation.
Decent. Right, I'm going to go through the comment quickly. Barbados MUFC. Just out of curiosity, is there too much pressure on Saka and Abba, who are your goal scoring midfielders, who in your midfield could turn to if Abba is having come to you, couldn't they, as well?
Yeah, I'd love to take
Nigerian,
this one.
Take us away.
What I would say is that's a very fair comment, and it's something that does worry me this season, if I'm honest. But I do believe it's definitely time for Saka to step up in terms of his goal return. He needs to be a little bit more ruthless in front of goal. I definitely think that's one part of his game that I would say he needs to improve on. But honestly, I believe Odegaard needs to have a big season for me this year. And the reasons is because he's already had 6 months with the team. He actually now has a home. It's not up in the air. Where's he going to be next season? He's got a home for the next 5 years. He's not thinking about going on loan and trying to impress. The manager clearly believes in him. If you see how Arteta sang his praises back end of last season when we signed him, all these different things. So it's time for him to do that season before Cesc spazzed out in front of goal, where he just started doing a madness, goals from everywhere. He needs to have that season this season where he just bangs in 10 goals in the Premier League, maybe 15 to 20 goal contributions. I'm not hearing that he's up and coming anymore. It's his time to shine. He's been in the limelight long enough, and now he's got a home. So let's go.
I hear you.
And he just created 12 big chances in his last game. That's the most recorded in any game since Opta Stats began.
That doesn't impress me because they scored 5 goals against Gibraltar and he didn't assist or score any of them, and it was against Gibraltar. So let me see some goal return. Let's see some numbers now, Odegaard. It's nice to see for sure the chances created, but in a game against Gibraltar, 5 goals were scored. I would have expected him to have set up or scored one of them, but maybe he did the pass before the pass.
Yeah, that's what I
was going to say. Yeah, he's very much a continuation kind of attacking midfielder. He will be involved in the build-up, to the final action. I agree, he needs to be involved in more final actions because he has that in him. And there's times where he picks a pass when he could shoot, and he's perfectly capable of shooting. I just think his shooting ability needs to be G'd up a bit. He needs to be told he can do it, and he needs to be given a license to do it.
It's that ruthless streak in it. And to be fair to Barbados MUFC, our goal scorer is actually in Newcastle right now from midfield. So he's doing his.
I think Odegaard has it in him as well. I mean, he scored 11 goals for Vitesse and then 7 for Real Sociedad. So, I mean, that's 18 goal contributions over 2 seasons. Obviously, he hasn't done it for us, but he has it in him. And I think Smith Rowe is, I don't know, call me stupid or call me deluded, right? I think Emil Smith Rowe is becoming, in his play style, getting fouled, how he dribbles, how he moves the ball, in a very Jack Grealish mold. Call me stupid if you want, but the way he plays,
I see where you're going with it.
He reminds me so much of how Grealish plays, glimpses of it. So if he can become anything like that, and again, as Kinley said for Odegaard, Emil Smith Rowe needs to now. He's had his breakout season in an Arsenal shirt. He got the number 10. Now he needs to kick on. And I think for me, he's been our best player over the course of the season. Yes, it's been a pretty crap season so far, but he's consistently been the one player that's trying to drive the team on. So, I mean, if he can get any type of support, I'm sure the numbers will come in his way if he keeps performing like this.
James, the season hasn't started yet.
He had a great preseason. He's been the best player in preseason.
It's got to be collective, because I think Saka, Odegaard, and Smith Rowe have more goals in them, and they're young. I think eventually they are going to be monstrous in front of goal. It's just getting them to that stage. At the moment, Pepe offers the most goal threat out of any of them, and I think he's shown that consistently
which is disturbing. The fact that
look, another way of looking at it, Pepe's already done more numbers in his first 2 seasons than Drogba did in his first 2 seasons. And we all know what Drogba did come season 3, mate. Drogba literally got 11 goals and 12 assists in all comps in his second season.
I think the thing with Pepe, and I think the frustration with Pepe is when games are tough, is he doing enough? Where Smith Rowe is that industry, isn't it? He's always trying to probe and do something. The feeling you get with Pepe is when he's not on it all.
He fades, if no one else is performing, he fades into the background. He doesn't step up and say, this is my game.
Whereas our 2 youngsters on the wing.
What Gums has said for ages, I've always said about Pepe, man. Like, I don't think the midfielders behind the attacking midfield allow players like Pepe the ability to what Gumsa calls cheating. Like where you camp in the opposition's final third. That's what Odegaard. That's what. Odegaard at Vitesse at Sociedad was doing. That's what Pepe was doing at Lille. These guys were camping much higher up the pitch. So then when the quick transition would come from countering, someone can actually play that ball over the top. Think about Willock, the goal that didn't stand in the Chelsea friendly, where Lukonga's picked up the ball, and the first thing he's done is he's looked up. If Xhaka's got that ball, he looks up and he thinks for a second, can I execute this pass? Lukonga didn't think, he just executed. And that's where Pepe was right up the pitch. Pepe cut the ball back for Willock, and Willock obviously got his shot on target. This is what Pepe needs. Pepe doesn't need to have to beat 2 or 3 men and have to think. He needs to have one man in front of him and know he can kill him dead. And that's Pepe's problem. That's what he's judged on. He's judged on being put in this system where he has to drop deep, and then by the time he does get the ball, the space between him and the opposition's final third is vast, and he's got men to beat. He's got decisions to make. He just needs less to do. It's just, and I think you put Lukonga and Partey in that midfield, and that's what you get, because those guys they can break lines with their passes as well when they win the ball back, both of them, and they're much more mobile, across the width of the pitch, and they're much better at winning the ball. So
I think that's the difference, isn't it? When you watch someone like Son for Tottenham, yes, he will get back, but a lot of the time it's one ball over the top, and he's the furthest man in. He drags the team up. We move on again. We got one more. Sorry, guys, we got one more team to get to. This one might be one of the most controversial teams.
SilvaFox
team. So I'll read through this video.
For this one.
Let me get rid of the comment. Hold on. So we've got Ramsdale in goal. Tomiyasu as the left-sided centre-back. Rob Holding. You knew he wasn't leaving out Rob Holding in the central position. Ben White, right centre back. Maitland-Niles on the right wing back position. Tierney left wing back. Partey and Odegaard central midfielders. So this is very much the shape we played against Man City. Saka and Pepe on the wings. Lacazette up top. James, we're going to let you go first on that.
This is wild.
Bin Rob Holding. I'm saying it now. Get rid of Rob. Gabriel's levels above him. Get him out there, Evan.
Yeah, I don't know how you look at Gabriel.
Like, if you want Tomiyasu in the back three, play him either centrally or where White is. Like, don't have him on the left. I can understand why he's gone a back three, because that was when we were playing our best football under Arteta in his like first 7-8 months. I don't really know. I mean, I don't know. Maitland-Niles is a bit iffy. I mean, he can do a shift at right wing back, I think. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely an interesting team. It's not what I would have gone for, but maybe Tony needs to be in management. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, tag me in.
Yeah, that to me. Oh no, wait there. Yeah, you can have it. I'm looking. I don't even know to start with that. So,
to be honest, yeah,
first Nigerian.
I'm happy that someone did do this formation. If I'm honest, I'm happy that someone did this formation, but I just wouldn't have picked this personnel in this order. Even if just this team alone, I would move, as James said, Tomiyasu to the right, and then I'd put Holding on the left and White in the middle if I was playing those three. But I wouldn't play those three, to be honest. I would have.
I think. Sorry, just quick. I think he's gone Tomiyasu because Tomiyasu is very good with the left foot, so that's why he's gone Tomiyasu on the left. Yeah. He's very good with his weaker foot.
Not the worst decision actually, but I would go with White in the middle. No, White on the right. Tomiyasu as the right wing back, and I'd go with what's his name, Gabriel in the middle.
What do you think of Odegaard?
Yeah, that one would never run for me, mate. Like, we'd get absolutely annihilated. I do agree when we do play three at the back, playing Lacquer up top makes a lot of sense. But Odegaard, I'd put Odegaard instead of Pepe and put what's it called, Maitland-Niles instead of Pepe or whatever. No, Maitland-Niles, and I put Maitland-Niles and Partey over Odegaard and Partey in the middle of the park.
Okay, decent. And quickly, Gunner King, what do you reckon of that team there?
The formation's fine, as James said. Why Maitland-Niles is good as a wing-back is because he's also played as a central midfielder. Think of Man City's system, where Cancelo actually becomes an auxiliary central midfielder, or he overlaps on the outside to become an auxiliary winger. When you're transitioning the ball forward, it turns into a back four. For this reason, I would put Tomiyasu where White is, and I would put White on the other side, because Tomiyasu is probably a bit more proficient as playing at the fullback. But I would bin Holding, as James said. Respectfully, I do think he did improve a lot last season, but you need Gabriel in the system. You need a left-footed centre back. He offers way more in a physical sense. And I'd probably make him the central of the three. And as I said, like you'd have Maitland-Niles kind of bombing inside to the central midfield space, Odegaard floating around further forward again, pretty similar to Canners' one, where he's at 8, but he's very advanced. Yeah, it will just transition from being a 3 at the back to 4, depending on which transition you got. It will give you a bit more defensively. I'd worry a bit in central midfield, but I can see the rationale behind it in terms of the formation. Just not the Holding thing, man. Like, it's time to let go, Tony, man. Respectfully, just let it go. Let it go, man.
Tony popped up in the comments just now.
He's a good squad player. Yeah, like I'm not denying that. But look, we've got to go with what potential we can have with Tomiyasu, White, and Gabriel. I think as footballers and as defenders, they're better. They just need to show it now.
Yeah, so Tony has popped up. He said Tomiyasu plays there for Japan, so as the left-sided centre-back. So, yeah, I can see why. To be fair, if Gabriel wasn't fit this weekend, which you'll probably see in the previews, I have gone with Tomiyasu as the left-sided centre-back, with Maitland-Niles as the right-back, but that's dependent on Gabriel. If Gabriel plays, then he comes back in central defence. So just quickly, so we've gone through all the teams. I'll just give you a reminder.
Was the best. Oh, sorry.
So what we're going to do, you can't vote for your own. So that's James is there.
I ain't getting no votes because of Xhaka.
Nigerians here.
Know that.
Obviously, the team we're going to pick here. Then we need to scan it. We know what it is. This wasn't much different to mine with the sort of Leno and Ramsdale. Now we've got a bit of a change of formation with Canners. And Foxy's is here. So, James. Oh, I didn't speak about Foxy's. Foxy's, I don't think it's bad for some games, but I just feel them games where we should be dominating the game, we should be so defensive. But apart from that, yeah, I think we saw it under Arteta last year. We started with the 3 and we just couldn't score for nothing. So I think there's times and a place for that. But when you're playing most teams, I think we should go back to the 4-2-3-1. But James, you can't pick your own. Yep. Who do you like the most?
I'm gonna go with Kunle's. I like him. His team was similar to mine, minus 2 changes in Sambi for Xhaka and Martinelli for Pepe, but I think regardless, similar style. So I'm going to go for his.
Nice, not bad. All right, Nigerian's got 1 vote. Nigerian, you can go next. Then who you voting for?
To be honest, I would have gone for James if not for that one little error he made in his team.
The typo.
Yeah, the typo, man. I think that was something wrong with his computer at the time.
I spelled Sambi wrong. I don't know what happened.
It happened. But I'm gonna have to go with. Even though I would have liked Aber up top, I would have to go with Gumsa's team because of Ramsdale.
I'll take one. I'll take a point. Let me show you mine quickly. Then I'm going through. So there's mine there. Right, Gunner King, give us your vote.
I have to go with Gumsa's. I mean, it's like for like with mine. You know, it's molded in my own image. It's molded in my own image, except for
I'll take it.
Ramsdale. Yeah, so
I'll take it. So I'll be honest. I have to go with Gunner King's because it's very similar to mine. But I do think, if I'm honest, James's is going to be the team we're going to see this season more often than not. I think this will be our starting 11.
Yeah, probably will. You know how
I think Xhaka will start ahead of Sambi Lokonga. I think Aubameyang is captain and got a bit longer on the contract. Will start ahead of Lacazette. So I do think that is closer to Arteta. What you've picked, so special mention. All right, let's go with the worst. It's for a bit of fun.
Obviously, that's Tony.
They're not here.
Tony's muddied.
But what's it called? What I think
Tony's
Tony's
is the worst.
Yeah, Tony's definitely.
Nigerian, who you going for the worst quickly? Tony as well. Who you going for the worst?
I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. The formation and the rationale behind it is perfect, but pretty much similar to what Kunle has said about James's. Like, it's weird because last season I felt like he was really good holding, but what I've seen of him so far this season, I think pre-season was all right, but these first 3 games have not filled me with any confidence, and I think now we might as well try something different. To see that, Holding's had a chance, he's had a run, Arteta's backed him. I think, he offers some leadership. I definitely don't want to see Mari anywhere near this team. If I had to pick between those 2 poisons, I'd pick Holding all day long. However, this Tomiyasu looks very good. Like, seriously, I've watched him play with Bologna as well. I think White as well and Gabriel, like, these guys just look better. They just look better.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We need Sambi and Partey to start on Saturday, and we need that to look sexy as fuck. Like we need it, because if that happens and we happen to get 9 points somehow out of the next 3 games, he can't drop him, bro. He can't drop.
Well, he hasn't got a choice in the matter because Xhaka's suspended, right?
For the next 3 games. Yeah, so it's
for the next 3 games.
Yeah. So boy, Sambi, it's your chance to stake a claim. If not Ainsley, one of you two just go and grab that central midfield role, man. I beg you, please now.
Yeah. But you know it's going to be the one guy who hasn't been mentioned in this whole thing. He'll probably start Mohamed El Nene.
El sideways.
You're right. Quickly, guys, before we go. And we got one more comment in here. Tomiyasu is the Japanese Trent Alexander. But yeah, we'll see how he gets on. So yeah, again, weekend, Norwich, season starts for Arsenal. And so we're giving everyone a head start. It's now time for the catch up. So a preview show tomorrow, and obviously back to the normal agenda for next week. Gunner King Court, the breakdown, the points, actual words for it, but Tony showed the player reviews and whatever else is going on. Make sure you guys keep subscribing, liking, commenting. James, you plan on a show for yourself soon?
Soon. It's in the works. Everyone will see. It'll be good soon.
We're excited.
As well, yeah.
Nigerian, you got anything coming up this week? I know you're always active on something. Where can we find you this week before the game?
Mate, you can find me tomorrow with my match preview of the game, and also that's on One Touch TV on my Instagram page. You can also catch me One Touch TV on YouTube as well. But always representing the Armoury family. Let's get it.
That's my guy. And Gunner King causing much trouble this weekend?
Well, this is the thing, yeah. The marriage is on Saturday, so I'm still out here in Sicily, you know.
You getting married on Saturday?
No, me. No.
I was gonna say, where was my invite?
No,
Gunner boy, don't get in trouble tonight.
The missus' sister, yeah. So I think for me, next week might be a bit of a struggle, but I'm gonna be back from the 19th. Got some big plans. Gonna get Twitch off the ground. Obviously, I'm doing my thing on TikTok, still posting, still taking souls, snatching souls out from the crypt here in Sicily. So obviously you can find me on Twitter, GunnerKing14. There's gonna be I'm just gonna hit the ground running when I get back. Trust me.
I rate that. Right, cool. Right, guys, we're gonna log off. Thank you for coming on tonight. It was a great show as always. And I'll hopefully see some of you over the weekend. And if not, I'll catch you all next week. Love, guys.
All right, take it easy, guys.